There are so many days when I've broken down on the mats. Like I've cried like
How does the coach treat you then? What does he say?
He ignores me.
Wow.
He just lets me be. He lets me cry, but I can't step out of the mats even though I'm crying. I have to continue sparring.
Hey, it's Puneet Surana, and this is the bonus series of the Galata podcast. We had this interaction in the early hours at Central Pergola of the serene campus of IIM Bangalore. So this is in the midst of nature, and you will hear the calling of many birds and squirrels that were creating some Galata. And of course, the Bangalore breeze. We'll get to it in a second, but first, here's a message from our presenting sponsor.
Hey girl, do you cringe and cry at the thought of using a common toilet? Reality is, for women, common toilets at events, fuel stations, railways, long-haul flights, busy pub night, malls, tracks, road trips is seldom clean. As women sit and pee, they resort to solutions like wiping the seat, making chairs, or holding it in to avoid touching that toilet seat and stay away from infections. But not anymore. Presenting Pee Buddy, India's first portable, disposable female urination device. Using this, women can now stand and pee. Just open the pack, place Pee Buddy between the flow area, bend a little, pee and dispose. Now you can enjoy the camping trips, parties, road trips, and much more, knowing that Pee Buddy is there for you. Also recommended for usage during pregnancy and arthritis.
This is the part one of the conversation.
I think that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about aggression. I was thinking what emotions talk about.
Yeah, aggression, yes. That's helped me everywhere in my business. I think I've borrowed aggression from Ju-Jitsu into every bits of my life. I would say that.
Mm-hmm. But do you generate it in Jiu-Jitsu? Were you angry as a...
Not angry, no. That's a very different word. Angry, not angry. Aggression is like you push something that has to be done. Like, for example, there's a move and you really have to push to make it work. So same with business. You really have to like maybe push that, to make it work. So that's what aggression is for me. And if you're not aggressive, so you're not trying enough and that won't happen. Probably it won't happen. But if you're really aggressive, you put your foot down and you go for it.
This is like you push through till you get it.
Till you get it, yes. That's aggression.
This makes it so relevant because in business world, aggression is all about the negative. You just...
Yeah.
But this is like a good aggression. How do you apply it in business?
Say you're working on a pitch for a project. Since I'm an architect, we tend to work on a lot of pitches and maybe it comes through, it doesn't come through, but if you're aggressive enough and you work towards it and you make the client convince, so you get the project. So that's how it works for me in business.
So it's about completing the sales.
Yes.
And getting that number in.
Yes. Same thing in Jiu-Jitsu.
How do you create that analogy?
This is something I've learned from my coach. He repeatedly says, be aggressive about what you're doing. Be aggressive. This is something I've picked up from my coach, clearly.
Intense.
Yeah, like be aggressive about it. If you're not aggressive, you won't get it. Yeah, so this is something that has sat in my head and I applied everywhere because it worked for me in Jiu-Jitsu. So I hope it will work everywhere.
But how do you handle people around you when they see you being so aggressive and doing...
How do they know I'm aggressive? It's in my head, no? That I'm aggressive. No, they don't know that I'm aggressive at all. You don't have to show it on your face that you're aggressive. It's something that's there in your mind.
So you're aggressive with your actions?
Yes, with my actions.
But
I don't like that. Doesn't mean I grind my teeth and that's not aggression.
Sure, give me the order.
No.
We're going to have a sparring session right here or something. No. But how do you handle it with the team around you? Because you're constantly in touch with contractors, builders, laborers. Again,
you have to push, keep pushing them to the edge. I know they get frustrated, but I'm so nice to them, but I keep pushing them. Like, dude, is this done? Is this done? When do you think you can finish this? Okay, can I have this in the next 10 minutes? Can I have this in the next 15 minutes? So I keep pushing, but again, I'm so polite that...
Yeah?
They can't. Yeah.
They don't move?
No. Yeah, but you get it done somehow. You push it. Aggressive doesn't mean you have to shout at someone and
So you don't boss
do it. Like, what the hell, you haven't done this. No, I don't believe in this. So you keep pushing it and it gets done. Same thing with the technique. You don't have to, when you're doing it in Jiu-Jitsu, you don't have to grind your teeth and grunt and, do all such things. No, you use the right technique and you just don't let it go. Like, for example, you have got hold of a hand for a lock, for a joint lock. So you don't let that go no matter what. Your muscles are paining, it's, you feel like, leaving it, you can't do it any longer, but still, you don't let it go. You're just holding on to it. Yeah, hold on to it no matter what. Yeah, that's what it is about.
I've got you where I want. How can somebody who's listening to it, who has a startup or a business, generate it in their business? A good aggression, sort of aggression. How can you do that?
I think you'll have to shamelessly be after it. That's what aggression is for me. You have to get something done no matter where. You have to be after it. You have to stick on to it like your life depends on it.
This is so hard for people to bring it in their life.
Yeah.
They think they'll end up offending them or they'll end up being too nice or, as they call it, snowflaking.
Yeah.
How do you get that right?
I've got it right after a lot of time, after a lot of time on the mats in my gym and also a lot of practice. I've been practicing architecture for 9 years now. And I think I've finally set up my own firm. And it's working out, yes. And it happened like in parallel. I've been practicing Jiu-Jitsu for 4 years now. And I'm in so much better place than I was when I started off, even Jiu-Jitsu.
More flexible now.
That also. But also, I was working for someone else when I joined Jiu-Jitsu, and it was so hard for me to get time out because nobody would understand why I'm doing this. And now, because I've started off on my... I don't know if Jiu-Jitsu helped me start off on my own or it's the other way. I'm not sure.
You never know. It's like a chicken egg.
Yeah. But I can say it has fallen in place now. And I'm really happy with what it has turned out to be and what kind of person I am today. And I'm so happy with myself.
All that pushing and aggression has paid off.
Yeah, has paid off. And I look forward to my classes, my gym classes, Jiu-Jitsu classes. And I miss them when I don't. Like, I was in Jodhpur the entire week last week and I missed it terribly. I thought I wouldn't. I mean, I'm on a holiday. Who would like to go get beaten up? But no. Yeah, it was a surprise. Yeah, beaten up. Can you see this?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a headbutt.
That's like a scar, right? It's like free mascara, but it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. Headbutt.
Headbutt?
Yes.
What?
This is part and parcel of sparring. Happens while sparring. You don't even know when this happened. Only after your sparring rounds, when you see, something is hurting, and then you realize that.
Wow. Like you're in the josh and you cannot feel it.
Adrenaline. You don't realize that.
You used to getting beaten, as you put it, or getting into fights. Does it come because you were grown up with a very strict single mother back in Mysuru?
No. I was grown up. I was brought up by a single mother, but not at all strict.
She wasn't strict?
No, not at all.
Like her bio reads really strict. She's a HOD.
Yeah, she is.
Science college in Mysuru.
Yes. But she just let me do what I want to do. Whatever I wanted. Like I told you, I climbed the Himalayas when I was 15. You know how difficult it was for her to convince the rest of my family. I have 5 uncles. I've grown up in a joint family.
Orthodox?
I am from Orthodox family. Yeah, joint family with 5 uncles.
All in the same house?
Yeah, all in the same house. Okay. Yeah, up until I was 13 years, 13, 14. So I've been in a joint family and it was very hard for her to convince. It was very easy for me to convince her, but it was so difficult for her to convince my uncles that what is the need? Why does she need to go? Like they didn't get it. So
why did you want to climb Himalayas at 14?
Yeah.
What 15, were you thinking? Hello.
Don't know. I was the youngest in the whole team. Yeah, it was like a group.
Sure.
Group of, so I was a part of a Rotary club. Back then I studied in...
Like a road track?
Yeah, road track school. And I was a part of the school, the club and everything. They happened to organize this expedition, this trip. And I was so excited. I wanted to take part. And they told me, are you sure you're just 15? Do you really want to do it? It was a 28-day trek. 28 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and I totally enjoyed it.
So you mean this was for like the 10th standards or the college going kids?
Yeah. So they were also working professionals who came.
In it? Mm.
Yeah. Very few school students, but...
So you went till the summit?
Yeah, I went till the summit, yeah.
How was that like for a 16-year-old?
I think I was the fittest among everyone. It was the easiest for me. I was always into sports.
You have this teeter for adventure and sports. Yes. I can totally sense that. What was Himalayas like? Through the eyes of a 16-year-old.
It was nice. What I would look forward to is every evenings we would pitch tents in different places. So we carried our tents. I mean, we had horses to carry our tents. So, but to pitch every evening, find a new place and pitch the tent, that was the most exciting thing. And I think I look forward to that every day when I woke up.
You look forward to pitching a tent in a new place?
In a new place every day.
Why?
Because you start off from a point and then you stop. There are breaks. You stop, you pitch the tent, you stay back that day. Next day morning, you wake up, you pack up everything. Then you start trekking again. Pitching a tent, new place, you stay in a new place. New places have always excited
a new window.
Me. Yeah.
View.
And each time you go up, like you see like a little bit of snow. Then you're a little more closer to the snow. And then you're in the snow.
Gosh, so, I've never seen snow, man.
You've never seen snow. See, that's why you don't know.
Was it your first time?
Yeah, that was my first time. Yes, that was my first time. So finally, we were trekking in the snow. It was so cold. That's one thing I didn't like about Himalayas.
So like when you wake up, you're like shivering.
Yeah. I think I didn't brush for like 3 days in a row or something like that when we were really on the top.
She was young back then. Now she's very disciplined.
So cold, but it was so good. And then I did a Nepal trek also. That was recent, about 4 or 5 years back.
But now
it's
that was like fresh eyes
Yes.
Did you take some family members along?
No.
Not at all? No. Wow, dude, your mom's... I'm telling you, when I was in my 9th and my friend and I wanted to go on a trip to Dandeli, we had to take a security person with us. And that was the only convincing point. Literally like a bodyguard with us through the trip. And here she is. Respect to your mom, dude.
Yeah. Yes, totally.
I don't know what she was smoking or what thinking she had.
No, but you should also give me the credit because I have convinced her.
No. That's the easy part. You don't push through, girl.
Yeah,
she did.
Oh yeah, she did it, yes.
She did it.
Yeah, maybe I give her the credit.
That's true. For example, even now, Harshita, she just came back from a solo trip, my sister, to Singapore. And it's unheard of in a Orthodox Marwadi family at the age of 22. And she had to just convince dad. But dad had to convince everyone, including so the family, extended family, customers. They did not understand what is solo trip. They understood solo trip, then they're like, but akeli ladki ja rahi hai. And then it's like, that means solo trip. Like, akeli ladki ja rahi hai. I had a girl who asked us in a wedding, I remember, same age, same education. She's like, she asked thrice, you went alone? And we're like, solo trip. You went alone? Solo trip. And I mean, then that's when I started appreciating the extent our parents have gone through to create that environment where we can explore our adventures.
Yeah.
What was your mom's first reaction when
she
you...
said, but are you sure you want to go? Like, you're only 15, do you want to go? I said, yes, I want to. I said, okay. It didn't take me much to convince her, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. But it took her a lot to convince the rest of the family. Yeah.
How was the reaction when you told her that you want to do Ju-Jitsu as...
Oh, she's like, yes, anything to do with sports, she's been very encouraging. Because she wanted to
be a... Now I see the picture.
Yes. And she never got a chance to pursue sports.
You're in the Lucky Sperms Club.
Yes. So that's why she's never stopped me. She even wanted me to quit my job and get into Ju-Jitsu full time. She's like, when this Asian Games thing came up, there was a selection camp for Asian Games. So for that, she said, just quit your job, do Ju-Jitsu, make sure you get selected.
In the naturals.
Yeah, my mom and my brother. I have a younger brother. He's 10 years younger to me. But equally encouraging. I've been very lucky, I should say, with family.
Yeah. How comfortable was it for you being a girl? And there were more
There were
girls
other
for sure.
girls. Yeah.
What is the sanitary like in there?
Oh no, we
sanitation?
went. we dug up a hole in the snow.
What?
Yes. There were no toilets.
You dug up a hole in the snow?
And covered.
But was it comfortable?
Yeah.
To an extent?
Yeah.
Did you have to still drink less water?
Yes.
And
The only thing I felt uncomfortable about was the snow, because you had to sleep on the snow. Like, the tents were laid on the snow, and there was like this thin sheet on the snow, and then your sleeping bag. So I felt cold. I couldn't sleep most of the nights. So that was the only thing I struggled about, really. Otherwise, it was awesome.
Did you still have to drink less water, be a little dehydrated, just so you can avoid the pee breaks and all of that? Did you have to go through that?
No, because as it was cold, I didn't feel like drinking water. So it was hard to find a place to pee in between the trek. So you start off in the morning and you keep walking till the evening, right? You keep trekking till the evening. So to find a place to pee during that time was difficult. But later, when we pitched the tents, we found like a place.
In the dark. So
in the dark. Yes, we are waiting for the dark.
Oh,
yes.
damn. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Did you actually have a bucket list going on?
No. These are things that have happened to me. Like Himalayan trip, I never thought about it, but it came, whatever came in front of me, I've taken it. Simple as that. Ju-Jitsu, I never even knew there's something called Ju-Jitsu. Unless one of my colleagues told me that, hey, maybe you should try this.
Were you like that student which went to the first session and was like, this is where I belong? Or you had to struggle
it took me some time.
It's like an acquired taste?
Yeah, it is. So, Jiu-Jitsu is a full body contact sport. So, I found it very awkward initially to be rolling with someone, whether a girl or a boy. So it's
a bad way to cuddle.
Yeah. It's like these puppies rolling around. So, it's something like that, and I actually didn't like it when I saw it the first time. But but then I really liked it. When you start off with techniques, when you actually understand what's happening.
Break it down.
Yeah. And how much it helps like a weaker person. It is a sport for smaller and weaker people, so that they dominate somebody who's much bigger than them just by using the right technique.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Now
so
I get the kick.
Yes. So when you know you can do better than a bigger person just by using the right technique, and it doesn't matter if like a bigger person is stronger.
Sorry for the cliche, but size doesn't matter here.
Yeah, size
technique
doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yes.
So you started looking at it from the technique's point of view, and that's when it really made sense to you?
Yes, it made sense to me, yes.
Like it's more than just body weight, fitness or weight loss.
Yeah. The weight loss, that was something I was looking forward to, but no. Later it became so much more about technique and how well your technique is working, and if I'm really able to sweep someone or take somebody down. It was about that.
What is it like the first time you took somebody down? I want to know this.
Oh my god, it's quite weak at wrestling. So wrestling is a stand-up fight when you take somebody down, right? So I had to work a lot. To do that. My coach was fed up of me because I just could not do it because it took me so many attempts. I'm not a quick learner. It takes me a long time to learn one technique. So that's why I have very few techniques, but I do them over and over again.
That's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. So
that's a blessing.
If I was somebody who caught techniques fast, I would have maybe known so many more techniques, but I have limited techniques, but I can...
You have depth.
Yeah, do them... So when you take a person down...
What does it mean to take a person down?
The two people, standing, and then you try to pin the other person down to the ground, and you're like on top of the other person, and then after you've pinned him down and you have enough control over the other person's body, you go for a submission, like a joint lock, ankle lock, or a choke. Yeah, so taking somebody down is like a major part. For me, that was the most difficult part. It seems like, oh God, two people, they are using all the strength and fighting, but it's actually not.
I think the women listening to this who want to have self-defense or just feel empowered, it's such a different perspective wherein, one, when you look at fighting with a man and not having the energy or the strength
Yes.
versus looking at it in the terms of this is just about technique. If I get the technique right, their strength is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
This perspective itself is so empowering.
Exactly. Yes. And also, if you see, most of the, when somebody has attacked you, you should know that the other person he does not know any technique, right? So how easy it would be for you to,
It's like you have come for it.
And because you know that you've trained so much, you have that confidence in you that you can really take this person down or defend yourself, if not anything.
Like, actually just, if there's an oppressor, ladies, you just look at him and like, really, you want to do this?
Yeah.
And at the end of it, don't tell me I did not warn you.
Yeah.
But it's so empowering to a woman. This makes so much more sense. Let's talk about Ju-Jitsu as a sport in India. How young is it? And explain Ju-Jitsu for, let's say, a lady listening to this who's probably in her college.
Hardly people know about this, even though it's there in Asian Games. So Asian Games 2018 that happened in Jakarta, Jiu-Jitsu was introduced for the first time. So it is a big sport.
Getting the recognition.
Yes, it is. So, but Team India was pulled out of Jiu-Jitsu for I don't know what reasons. Government knows the reasons best. But they are reintroducing it again. The next one. So which will be in 2022? Yeah, 2022. So which means if they've got it back, so it is growing. And it's going to be Olympics also. The next Olympics, it's going to be in Olympics. So if it's an Olympic sport, it is a very well-recognized sport. But in India, we do not have like the facility for it, I would say. There is nobody encouraging. Like, we do not have enough support from the government is what I want to say. But athletes like me who are taking interest in their own and doing it, yes, it's fantastic for us because I'm not depending on anyone I'm doing it because I love it, because I'm interested. So why I'm interested is because it has so many benefits. It's given me so much, not just self-defense, not just the confidence, but also it's helped me the way I see life. I think it's so important, not just Jiu-Jitsu, any sport. I think it makes a difference the way you look at life. Because it's so much struggle, right? It's so much struggle. I don't think there can be anything worse than that.
If you survive there.
Yeah, if you survive there, you can just survive anywhere else.
You can breeze through life.
Yes. If you can survive every day 40 minutes getting smashed, can you imagine that? You can survive.
How do you convince the young girls to getting smashed first thing in the morning? Let me tell you, ladies, there was a point in her life where she had to travel 3 hours, practice for 1 hour, essentially get smashed for an hour, and then travel back 3 hours. I appreciate your efforts.
Yeah. So now it's very comfortable. If I think of that, it's so easy. I just stay 5 kilometers away from the gym. So I'm in a better place now. But I had to do all that during my first few years.
That's a struggle that a lot of Indian sportsmen go through, sportswomen go through.
Women, I think combat sports has so much to do with strength and so much to do with, because that's how people think, there's so much to do with strength. We don't want to fight men, we don't want to fight boys. But no,
because most of the time you're training with boys.
Yeah, you're training with boys, and that's a plus point. That's a major plus point, and that most of the women fail to see it. That's you're getting an opportunity to learn from somebody who's
naturally more stronger.
Yeah, more stronger, physically more stronger. Yes. So you're prepared already.
This reminds me of the Dangal scene.
Yes.
Like where Amir Khan is like,
yeah, he's pushing the girls to
fight with the
boys. Yeah, that's preparing them for the worst. Wow. Right? So you're prepared. You're always prepared. So this, you get a little bit of fitness, you get fit, you get stronger, you get the confidence, everything. This is all in one for me. Solution, life ka solution.
Yes, I think you're so right. You get one thing right, and a lot of other things fall in place.
Yes. You're fitter than the rest of your friends and who are not into sports. At my age, so many of them already have so many health issues.
Yeah, they have kids.
And,
they have
kids
and
family priorities.
And here's a girl who's just cruising through. Not really, but she's actually pushing through a lot of things. Sets you apart. But do you miss the fact that you could have taken the normal route of
not at
having
all.
a practice?
Not at all. The more I see, the more I see people, friends around me, although they love it. So it's so important also to do what you like. Just because everybody else likes it a certain way does not mean that I will do it that way. So for me, it's been different from not day one, but from the time I've been able to think and been able to make decisions for myself. It's been different from the rest of my friends, but that does not mean that I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. And the other way around, if I was doing something conventional, I don't think I would have.
Is Jitesh Banjan the first coach that you had?
Yes.
What has been like your life learnings from him?
He's, I told you,
What is
right?
aggression? Be aggressive in everything you do.
And he's somebody...
See it again.
Aggression, I need aggression. Aggression is missing. You're not aggressive, you don't get it.
He's generating that on the mat.
Yes, he's generating that on the mat. And I get shouted at the most on the mat because I'm a slow learner and I have to keep up with the guys. So I get that a lot. And to make it even worse for me, what he does is he tells the guys, oh, can't you escape from a girl? Like a side control. And they are trying...
That fucks them up.
Yeah, that fucks them up. And they are trying 3 times harder than they would actually. And I have to...
Ego ka
that means, ego ka saval hai, or that means I have to do it 6 times more. So he makes it very hard for me and I'm very thankful to him. Although I hate him every day on the mat.
The keyword is thankful.
Thankful, yes. Yes.
Like, because the ladies and all the men also, this is for everyone, but they'll be like, why are you pushing through?
Why am I pushing through? Because
why are you going through this grunt?
Because it's taught me so much in life. Like I told you, I've borrowed so many principles of Ju-Jitsu into my career, into my practice, architecture practice, and it's working wonderfully for me. After the happiest I am in the day is after a good round of sparring session.
Explain them what sparring is because they get the picture of it.
Sparring is either getting beaten up or beating up someone. So I'm happiest when I've beaten up someone. Yes. I'm happiest after that.
Like she's kicked the ass.
There's nothing.
You
there's
won a
no
world.
Other feeling equivalent to that. I'm so happy, done.
Like a day begins with either getting owned or owning somebody.
But I must mention, there are days when I get beaten and I feel so bad about it. Yeah, you shouldn't. So there's another way, the other side to it also, when you get smashed and you're like, why am I even, I've been doing this for 4 years, 5 years, and why does it feel this way? Where am I lacking? What is wrong? And so you end up that way too. So,
how do you handle setbacks, Nabila? Especially these micro setbacks and the mega setbacks, like the one that happened in the Asian Championship. How do you handle that emotionally?
Yeah, there was nothing I could do about it. The government kept promising us, but then when did I get to know? 3 months before we were preparing, I quit my job. I've been training, and just 3 months before the competition, they tell us that I didn't know what to, everything was gone for me. Like my job was not there. I didn't have a job anymore. What was I training for 6 hours a day? Why was I training when there's no competition? Yeah, that was like I didn't know how to place myself. I didn't know what to do the next day. Yeah. Yes. But then I started off on my own. Then I started off. That was I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing that helped me set up my own firm. I was not ready. If not for Asian Games, I would have never quit my job. And I wouldn't have really thought of setting up my own this thing. I would have taken a few more years, I would say. I would have eventually done it, but taken...
Gradually.
But that happened so suddenly that I had to... And I was broke for months. But thanks to my mom.
Life locks you at times.
Yes. And then I went on competing in other smaller competitions. And
how do you handle the day-to-day emotional... Now I know you're used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Tomorrow I'm going to take it back on this person. But initially, and especially during the days when you're like, not anymore.
There are so many days when I've broken down on the mats. Like I've cried like
how does the coach treat you then? What does he say?
He ignores me.
Wow. Men listening to this.
He ignores me.
If you have the balls.
He just lets me be. He lets me cry, but I can't step out of the mats even though I'm crying. I have to continue sparring.
Are you serious?
Yes. There is no, what do you say? Oh, you're crying, please.
Take a break.
Yeah, take a break. None of that. You're crying, you cry, but continue what you're doing. So it's...
Stay in the damn game.
Yes. You don't get out unless you finished your rounds, even though you're crying or whatever.
You know what really appeals me when it comes to Mambila? More than her physical strength, it's the emotional strength this woman has built up. If you could get nothing out of this conversation, it could be just about building your emotional strength. And if you can, give a shot to Ju-Jitsu. It's a growing sport. There aren't that many competitors around.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make it that OMG kind of thing. You've won over 6 gold medals. How did that feel?
Oh, that my first gold medal was I
You didn't believe? Oh,
yeah, I didn't believe.
am I
it.
here?
Yeah. I was celebrating for days together. Then it became a habit of me. So I won the second set of gold, third set of gold. So I wasn't as excited as the first one was. Just
Then you get into this mode wherein losing hurts way more.
Yeah.